Yo, what is up guys? It's Jack and welcome back to another video. So in this one I wanted to kind of simultaneously address a comment that has been put in one of my more recent videos simply because of the fact that I myself have briefly given some thought to this previously, and I might have even touched up on it very briefly as well in one of my previous videos, and I thought it was an interesting enough subject to talk about. And at the same time, you guys have your own points of views, you guys have your own answers, your own thoughts, and with the communication being absolutely amazing, especially as of recently with the channel and in terms of video responses, comments, and all that kind of stuff, and even on Twitter, I thought we should talk about this because it is something that is debatable. And like I said, everybody has their own points of views and their in opinions. So let's get right into it. So as you guys know, people have been talking about not just this year, but for the last, I don't know, 2, maybe 3 years, give or take, off and on. It's been skill-based matchmaking seems to always be one of the biggest subjects that's talked about, especially when a new Call of Duty comes out or whatnot. I mean, in the beginning, it is kind of normal for it to be sweaty in a sense, but granted, some Call of Duty games are sweatier than others just by default, and sure, sometimes maybe even the algorithm and all that other stuff that the game kind of comes with does play a role, I guess, because I remember reading that according to the developers, if I'm not mistaken, that there always has been like a very quote-unquote light form or a form of skill-based matchmaking into the game, but not, according to them, it's not as strong as we happen to think it is or say it is, regardless of what our experiences tell us, right? So the thing is, okay, since skill-based matchmaking still seems to be a topic of variety of discussion in this game, you know, you see every single big YouTuber, whether they're a traditional commentator or whether they're a gameplay specialist or whatever flavor of Call of Duty YouTuber that they are. Some of them make videos on it and some of them will just tweet about it or whatnot, but for the most part there's videos, but some people have tweeted about it as well. So the debate is it really skill-based matchmaking, or is it simply because the Call of Duty community has just gotten better with this game over time? Now, with my personal life, and we're not just talking about video games here, we're just talking about everything. One of the most cardinal sins, and for those of you guys that are younger, pay close attention. One of the cardinal sins you can ever make in life is to underestimate somebody, especially when it comes to things like sports, or things like when it comes to like survival, or when a person has nothing to lose. I mean, it really is true. It's not something you just hear about in movies. It is something that is absolutely true. And that's one of the reasons why they kind of use it in movies, is because it just makes so much sense. It has a dramatic effect. Now, granted, movies usually take it a bit too far simply because of the fact that it's a movie, and usually when it comes to fiction, you know, they take it to a whole nother level. But the thing is this, one of the biggest mistakes you can ever make in your life is to underestimate somebody else, especially if they have a burning fire and passion and desire when it comes to something. So the thing is, as you know, the Call of Duty community itself is passionate. We are passionate. As soon as we don't like something, we're quick to make videos about it. We're quick to tweet at the developers, post things on Reddit, etc., 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 right? So with all that being said, is it skill-based match? Do you guys think it's skill-based matchmaking, or do you guys think that, quite frankly, the community overall as a whole has just gotten better at the game? Because remember, it's different when you're facing a lobby that is averaging, let's say, 0.8 KD or 0.9 KD, and it's a much different situation if the lobby just happens to average, let's say, a 1.5. That's almost twice as good as somebody that, at least statistic-wise, than somebody that has a 0.8 or a 0.9, right? So, you know, even that makes a difference. If you run into a number of players in team-based games, or even in free-for-all or whatnot, that average a 0.5 as opposed to averaging a 0.9, a 1.5 as opposed to averaging a 1.9, that is a difference, and that kind of stacks. When you're facing teams, when you're playing in team-based games, or if there's just a whole bunch of people that have that kind of average in a free-for-all, all of that stacks. And I've been playing this game religiously and for a good amount of time for the last 8 years or so. And the thing is, I can kind of see where the statement is made to where people will say, well, maybe the community has just gotten better. And it certainly makes sense. Now, granted, there are still a good amount of noobs. I feel that as well. but I don't feel it as often as I used to. But at the same time, the thing that could be counter to this, that can kind of counter this is, well, at least to a certain extent, is the fact that, well, let's say if Black Ops 2 was functioning, right? Let's say it was functioning and there weren't nearly as many hackers, right? Let's say Black Ops 2 right now in 2018 would play like it did, like, let's say in 2016, right? Or in 2015, where it wasn't nearly as bad, right? In 2015, the majority of my content was based off of Call of Duty Black Ops 2 in terms of gameplay. So, or at least half of it, because in 2015 we had Black Ops 3 coming out as well. So, but yeah. It very is much debatable. If I were to go back and play Black Ops 2 like that, I can guarantee pretty much all my subscribers, people that follow me on Twitter, or even, you know, some of the big dogs out there, I would be a big dog in Black Ops 2. Now, granted, I played a shit ton of Black Ops 2, which is one of the reasons why it's a damn good Call of Duty, but I also have a certain level of understanding with the game. But the thing is, I tend to run into a lot of lobbies where people are very, very, very newbie-esque, if that's even the term, players. And you can tell. You can tell which players are good and which players are not. You could just, when you play a game long enough, you can easily tell who's good and who's not, and who has an idea of what they're doing and who doesn't. And it just seems with older Call of Duties, and there are people though that will play the older Call of Duties and they won't leave. I kid you not. There is that as well. So granted, it's not nearly as many, but the thing is also, another thing that plays a role is the fact that, well, the Call of Duty community, although Call of Duty in terms of console still pretty much reigns supreme in terms of sales every year, it's something that we have to realize that the community is not exactly as popular as it used to be, even with the sales that it makes, because there are people that don't stick around for that much longer, and some of them will quit like after the first day or after the first week. So there's that as well. And also, let's not forget about the fact that people will quit because if they see that there are so many good players and they get their ass handed to them left and right, guess what? They're going to quit. Because with Call of Duty, it just so happens that right now it's turned into a game to where when you kick ass, you're having fun, and when you don't kick ass, you're not having fun. Back in the day, only part of that used to be true. Back in the day, when you kick ass, you're having fun, but you're having more fun. And if you were getting your ass handed to you, granted it wasn't as fun, but you'd still be having fun. Part of the reason is because Call of Duty used to be new, because it was the new thing, it was the big thing. It was basically what Battle Royale is today. It's basically the equivalent of what Battle Royale is today. That's how it used to be back in the COD 4, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1 days, when Call of Duty was quote-unquote in its prime. Granted, I think Modern Warfare 3, is the one that made the most in terms of revenue, in terms of the first week sold or something like that, if I remember correctly. I think some people might argue that it was Black Ops 1, which could be very well true, but I think Modern Warfare 3 was the last big COD to sell as much as it did on its first week. So there's that as well. So when you look at it, there are so many different factors, but the thing that seems to be to a certain extent a big factor is the fact that, well, quite frankly, there certainly is a possibility, especially since the number of people that play COD, which I'm sure a lot of us are the ones that have stuck with it, people like me, have played better. There's just a more concentration of us now than there was before. So do you guys think that is a thing as well? So let me know down in the comment section, where do you fall on this debate? Do you believe this to be true, or do you believe it to be a little bit of everything? And so therefore that is what is one of the things that makes the game, so to speak, a little bit annoying? I don't know. What's your opinion on the matter? Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. I know that one of you obviously thinks that this is a reason because you've posted a comment in one of my previous videos. So, but as far as the rest of you, what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section. And thank you very much for the support and for the communication back and forth. I absolutely love it. It's what keeps me coming back to make videos on a regular daily basis. And I absolutely love it. And for the streams as well. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay and the commentary. And if you did, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.